In June 2019, Real Madrid packed 50,000 fans into the Bernabeu to unveil their newest Galactico. They had just paid €150 million for EdenHazard, expecting him to step into the void left by Cristiano Ronaldo. Over the next 4 years, Hazard scored 7 goals. He made 76 appearances across all competitions. By the summer of 2023, the club reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract a year early. The Spanish press labeled him the greatest flop in Real Madrid history. 4 months after leaving Madrid, at the age of 32, when many top players are still in their prime, EdenHazard retired from professional football. Athletes age, they lose a step, but players who dominate the global stage rarely become obsolete overnight. To go from a record-breaking signing to walking away from the sport in 4 years defies standard athletic aging curves. Modern football is an industrial complex. Today's top players function like engineered machines, reliant on sports science, micromanaged diets, and physical testing to maintain their dominance well into their late 30s. EdenHazard operated outside that system. He was an anomaly who didn't play based on tactical geometry or optimized physical output. He played on unteachable instinct. The trait that made him unstoppable on the pitch is the reason his body suddenly failed him. To understand his failure in Madrid, we first have to understand the fragile way his talent was built. Born into a family of footballers in Belgium, Hazard was a child prodigy. He moved to the youth academy of the French club Lille in 2005, where it was clear he was operating on a different frequency. One of his youth coaches at the time stated, "He knew everything. I had nothing to teach him." Look at this diagram comparing a standard player's center of gravity with Hazard's. Standing 5'9", he possessed a remarkably low center of gravity. This geometry allowed him to retain balance during tight touches at high speeds, enabling changes of direction that bypassed traditional defensive tactics. That biomechanical advantage translated to the senior level. By his early 20s, he was named Ligue 1's Player of the Year for 2 consecutive seasons, leading Lille to a domestic double. Right from the start, his game relied on physical elasticity and a completely natural feel for the ball. He didn't build his game systematically. He simply played. That talent carried him to Chelsea, where he became a world-class superstar. He won 2 titles and a Player of the Season award by slicing through the tightest defenses in Europe. He truly reached his zenith at the 2018 World Cup. Captaining Belgium, he led the team to a 3rd-place finish and won the silver ball as the tournament's second-best player. But his style came with immense physical friction. His close-controlled dribbling constantly forced opposing defenders into desperate, lunging challenges. He was constantly targeted, absorbing punishing tackles week after week. There were also internal warning signs. Belgian coaches publicly noted his lack of effort in training, citing a mentality that allowed him to coast on pure talent. He relied on the elasticity of youth to absorb the physical damage of the Premier League. He neglected the gym maintenance required for long-term longevity. At the moment of his greatest on-field triumphs, the foundation of his eventual collapse was already being built. Hazard arrived at Real Madrid out of shape, exposing a lack of structural discipline that he had managed to hide during his 20s. Then came the catalyst. During a Champions League match in 2019, a challenge resulted in a microfracture to Hazard's right ankle. This chart illustrates the effect of that injury. We call it an agility threshold. Because his game relied on explosive micromovements, a 5% drop in his ankle's elasticity pushed him out of the elite dribbling zone. He lost his fractional edge. Players built on a foundation of sports science can often adapt to injuries by falling back on brute strength or tactical rigidity. Unfortunately for him, EdenHazard had absolutely neither. When a purely natural player's body finally breaks down, there is no mechanical system to keep them running. Once the physical magic was compromised, the player simply disappeared. Faced with this physical decline, Hazard didn't attempt a lower league comeback or adjust into a static, deep-lying role. Once his ability to beat defenders vanished, he chose to stop. At age 32, his time at the top was over. He walked away from the sport shortly after his time in Madrid ended. His career ended because his physical capabilities could no longer support the instinctual style that defined him. Labeling his time at Real Madrid a failure misreads what kind of player EdenHazard was. He was not built for longevity. In a sport defined by data points and tactical conformity, he was a shooting star. Hazard stands as a reminder of the beauty and the fragility of pure instinct. He was the sport's last true